All right, now we're going to look at what changes. So if we're looking at this word problem. Poppies are on sale for 5 cents each. So I know that 5 cents each is important and the poppies is important. And when we're thinking about writing an algebraic expression or an algebraic question, we need to figure out what is changing because that is what's going to get the variable. So 5 cents each is how much one poppy is worth, but in this sentence, we don't know how many poppies. So that is what is changing. So what is changing is the number of poppies. So when I write this out, I would write as an expression, I'm going to put P for poppies, right? And then the 5 cents, because 5 cents is going to multiply by the number of poppies that are there. Okay, and I can also write this as 5 cents times the number of poppies, right? Okay, so going to look at this again. An internet cafe charges $2 for each hour. Okay, what is changing? Well, I know $2 for each hour isn't changing. It's not going to all of a sudden become $3 each hour or $4 each hour. So that is remaining the same. What is changing is how much time we're going to spend at the internet cafe. So that is what's changing. The amount of hours is changing. Okay, so that would be the variable. If you're looking at this one, what is the variable here? So I'm just going to read this. A grocery store charges 5 cents for each plastic bag. What's changing and what's staying the same? So just pause the video and figure that out and then come back. All right, so the grocery store is charging 5 cents for each plastic bag. But every single person is going to have a different amount of groceries, right? So what is changing is the number of plastic bags we need. And if I was going to now write this as a problem, I can substitute anything in there for it. I can substitute a question mark. I can substitute a P. I can substitute whatever I want in there when I'm writing the equation. That doesn't matter. Okay? But it is going to be multiplied by, so I'm going to just use P because it's plastic bags, and it's multiplying by the amount, the 5 cents. Okay, again, Sarah has a certain amount of money. Okay, how much money in dollars will she have if her mother gives her? So this is the amount of money she's starting with. The variable is replacing the amount. So we need to know how much she's making in the beginning, or she started with, but we don't know. So that goes here, the N. That's the amount of money she originally started with. Okay? And then what do I do with this? This is the amount her mom now gives her. So this is her starting amount, and now her mom gives her $7. So we're going to add these amounts together. So if I told you in the beginning she started, Sarah has $6, right? And then her mom gives her $7. How much money does she have? Well, you would go $6 plus $7, right? So all we're doing is replacing it with that variable. What would you do for B and C? How would you write that? So in your notebook beside you, please write out what you would do and then come back and check. So we're going to stop here and then come back and check. All right, so the amount of money that she has is plus the $9. Okay? And I'm not asking you to solve for N because you wouldn't be able to at this point. And then for this one is 12. She starts with a number that we don't know, and then we know she's being given $12. Okay. Now, if she started with $10, how much money does she have now? So I'm just going to change colors here. So now I'm going to substitute in $10 in the spot where the n goes, plus $7, and now I know she has $17. So how much would she have for B, and how much would she have for C? So figure those out. We're going to pause here, and then I want you to come back. All right, so we have $10 that we sub in for the variable. And then she gets given the $9 from her mom, so that is going to be $19. And again, subbing in $10 because that's her starting amount, plus the $12, and that's going to be equal to $22. Okay. Now, you've probably seen some of these problems before. People get really freaked out when they see variables, but I'm hoping that you don't say you can't do it, because remember what happens is your brain shuts down, right? And if you are having problems, remember, successful people ask questions. If you're not willing to ask for help, then it's going to hinder your progress, and you won't progress as fast as what you would if you asked for help. Okay, so very important that you ask for help if you need it. All right, so this says replace the variable with the number 4. So I'm just going to rewrite this. And notice that now this is how I tend, oh, that's a multiply. I tend to work underneath, and I don't put the equal sign in. I tend to just work down, and it's easier. I also want to point out that brackets, so if I have 6 beside a number in brackets, that means to multiply as well. So I'm multiplying here. All right, so then 6 times 4 is 24 plus 2, and that's going to be equal to 26. Okay, here, substituting in the 4, so I want you to do, or sorry, that was only for number 1. Here, notice this comma, okay? The comma is saying that this is separated, but they're also, I'm going to use this information for the problem. All right, so I'm telling you that H is equal to 3. So what that means is I take the 3 and I substitute it in. So I'm going to go 5 times 3 with the brackets plus 2. I want you to get used to seeing those brackets because they're used all the time. And now I can just solve. So 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2 is equal to 17. Okay, I want you to do this one, and then we're going to do it together. And then I'm going to give you some time to work on your problems. Make sure that you're asking for help if you need it. All right, so I'm going to substitute that in. 3 times 4 minus 2. So this is equal to 12 minus 2, and this is equal to 14. Ah, wrong. I added. Did you catch my mistake there? 10. There we go. All right, so if you're having any problems with this, do